What's going on, RV world? This is Cam Hilliard from Miller's RV in Baton Rouge, and today I'm going to talk about the Truma heating and hot water system. So before I show you how to use this panel that your salesman probably struggled to show you, hopefully they didn't, hopefully they're good. But before I show you this, go ahead, like this video, subscribe to our channel, turn on your post notifications so you can see all our latest videos. We do RV walkthroughs of trailers and Class B, Class C, Class A, and we also do helpful tutorial videos like we're doing today. So without further ado, we're going to check out the Truma Eco Combi Plus. So we're in a 2023 Winnebago Travado 59K floor plan. Now we just did a video on this a week or two ago, so check that out. Really great video. We love the Travados, especially the 59K floor plan. But the Truma system that's in here, so you'll find this. This is the Truma Eco Combi Plus. Now in the Solus, you're going to find the Truma Eco Combi. And there are a couple different variations of the control board here. Basically, they look the same on the outside, but there are a few small differences that we'll kind of go through in here. So like I said, this is Truma Eco Combi Plus, but we'll show you the only difference about the Truma Eco Combi. So without further ado, let's check it out. Okay, so like I said, this is the Truma Eco Combi Plus. So we've got our basically our resting screen here. Now, right now it's showing the time. The P means PM, obviously, instead of AM. So before I get into it, I will let you know that anytime that you cut power to your RV, so again, we're in the Travado now, but this is going to be the same with any of the trailers or B vans or any of the motorhomes that have this Truma system. So anytime that you cut power, whether it be like turn your battery disconnect off or unplug, anytime you cut power to the Truma system, the clock is going to reset. That's not a problem. You just go and reset the clock. So just to show you that. Now we have it set correctly here. So what I'm going to do to start this, we're going to click the center button here. And you can see that beneath this line are all of our options and different controls that we can do. Now the one that's blinking is the one that's selected. So the first one that you see here has a thermometer that's in the coach of the RV. So if you guessed this correctly, good job. This is the furnace for your in this case Travado. This is the furnace. So what you want to do to activate the furnace is click down on the circular panel, and then you just turn right to whatever temperature you want. So let's say we want it to be at a nice 68 degrees. So you'll see, like I said, below this line are different options that we can select. Basically, different controls are doing. Above this line shows you what is being operated. So right now, this flame means furnace. This bottle means that it's being powered by propane, and this shows that our fan speed is at 1. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off because it's a pretty warm day here today, so I don't want it to, and actually with that being said, your heating system, I can't remember the exact temperature, but your Truma system, the furnace won't come on unless it's below a certain degree Fahrenheit outside. So basically, if it's really warm day, your furnace won't even come on. The fan might blow, the actual heating element will not kick in. So on to the next one. So you see here, it's got a little thermometer and little waves, look like water, or if you have a vivid imagination, thermometer and strips of bacon. So this is the thermometer and the water. This is your water heater. So the water heater, you have a couple different modes. You've got your Eco, you've got your Hot, and you've got your Boost. So your Eco will heat your water and heat it up to 104 degrees. The Hot will heat it to 140 and keep it, basically keep it above. Once it hits around 103 degrees, it heats it up. Doesn't let it get below that. And then your Boost heats it to 144 and pretty much constantly keeps it at that temperature. So the Eco will let your water get down to probably, I think they say around 50 degrees or so. So basically let your water cool down, and then it heats it back up whenever it gets that cool. So the water's not staying hot all the way. So it's conserving energy. That's why they call it an Eco mode. So right now we're just going to use normal usage or Hot. So we're going to turn this on. And again, we click down that center button. And you can see up at this top line, remember that shows us what's being used. It shows us that we're on the hot setting and our hot water heater is on and it's getting power from the propane. So on the Eco Combi Plus, you can use propane or electric. On just the regular Eco Combi, it's just propane. So you'll scroll over here to where you see this little bottle and the 2 electrical symbols. So you can have this option of doing gas as your power supply, whether it be for the furnace or the hot water heater. You can do a mix 1, which the mix 1 will be, and I hope I don't get these backwards, but the mix 1, yeah, the mix 1 will be the gas and 12 volt heating element for your power supply. Mix 2 will be your gases, and guys, by gas, I'm saying propane. So by propane, the mix 2 is going to be your propane and your 120. The electric 1 will be just 12 volt, and the electric 2 will be the 120. So you can do tons of different modes on this, and it all just depends on where you're getting your power supply from. So if we move on, we've got a little fan here, and you can see again it's blinking, so that's the one I'm selected on. So I'm going to go to the fan here, and you can turn on your vent if nothing else is on. Now in the scenario where we have our furnace on, you can come over to the fan and you can change your fan speed either on eco or high. So again, you can see at this top, so let's just see, just so you can see all the selectors. So we're going to go ahead and switch this. We want it to be 12 volt, so we'll do electric 1. We're going to go ahead and turn our hot water heater on. We'll put on eco right now, and you can see that we've got our furnace on, our hot water heater on. We're getting power from, and right now it's giving us a little error code because we don't actually have water in the tank on this Truma right now. So that little error code there is what it's telling us. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. And then this is just a quick, actually, while that came up. So the error came up because we don't have water supply to the hot water heater. But if you ever do have an error code, so you want to look up online what the error code is by clicking it. And then to get rid of the error code, you're going to go to the wrench here, and you're going to scroll all the way to reset. Now I kind of skipped over a couple things, so we're going to run it back. We're just going to clear that code. So while this is resetting, okay, so now that I covered the fan, so like I said, when the furnace is not on, you can just turn this on as a vent. So we're going to scroll past here because this is our timer function. So we're going to scroll past because first, like I said, our clock is set correctly right now, but anytime you cut power to this, it's going to reset your clock. So if you want to use a timer function, you got to make sure that your clock is set correctly so you're on the right time zone so the schedule comes on. So to set this, it's very, very simple. Again, everything we select, we have to click down. So we click down, it's 228 here. So we do that and we're set. So I'm going to go back to this little timer setting. So the timer setting is really, really cool. So let's say there's a scenario where you go out on a hike and you're, let's just say in Colorado, and it's late fall, it's getting kind of cool. So you go out to a hike, and whenever you come back from your hike, you want the water to be heated, and you want the coach to be warm, so you can go ahead and just hop in here, enjoy a nice shower, and then you don't have to worry about dealing with that still cold air that happens sometimes that time of year. So if we want to avoid that, basically, let's say that we're going on a hike and we're going to come back. So I'm going to get back to my Travado or get back to my RV at about 5 o'clock. So I'm going to get back at 5, but I want it to be ready for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to our timer setting. So again, I'm going to be back at the RV at 5. So since I'll be back at 5 p.m., what I'll do is I'll go ahead and start having everything heated up at 4:30, just to give it plenty of time to heat the coach, heat the water. So it says start 4:30, and after I click that, we'll let it end at, that's fine if it ends at 6 p.m. because by that time I'll be showered, I'll be cleaned off, and I can go ahead and do my own settings on here. I don't have to really worry about it doing the timer itself. So after I click the end time, it's going to take me to this, which is the furnace. So I don't want it to be too warm in here. I want it to be comfortable. So I'll go to 68 degrees. So it's going to be 68 degrees in here. I'm going to click that to set it. The hot water heater, I want it to be hot. I want to make sure, you know what, actually I want it to be boosted. I don't want this water to have any bit of cool water. I want it to keep hot and stay hot. And then the supply, we're going to go ahead and have 120 because we're hooked up at a campground right now. So, and also for our fan, we'll put it on high. Why not? We're going to make sure this thing heats up quickly. So I put it on high, and then once I get finished through setting all my options, it's going to say off or on. So if I want this timer on, because we're about to head out to the hike, I'm going to go ahead and hit on, and we're good. and you'll see now that that timer is set. So I love the timer feature. It's really convenient, and you can do that whether it be the Eco Combi or the Eco Combi Plus. So I just turned that timer off. We're going to scroll a little bit past. So like I said, this is our clock function, and we already set that. And then we've got our wrench here. So you can probably guess that means settings. So in your wrench, you've got an offset that basically just changes the temperature of what the water's set to. So as I mentioned, the 104, 140, and 144. So this just sets it. So let's say on that regular boost, or the boost, you're at 144. This basically would make it 134 or 130 if we're at the -4. So that's just what the offset does. Temperature, you can either set Fahrenheit or Celsius. I don't know how to read Celsius, so I keep it in Fahrenheit. Brightness, this will just change your screen brightness. 12 or 24-hour time. Language, and then index. So Truma has some of the best customer service, if not the best customer service of any of the big corporations who make products in RVs. I also have talked about this in plenty of other videos. I think Truma makes the most innovative products in the RV market as well. So I'm really a huge fan of Truma. But so they're very helpful. So if you ever have to call them, they might ask, what model is this, or what's the index number? So this is how you find it. You scroll to your settings, you hit, oops, it timed out there. You scroll to your settings wrench, you go to index, and you're going to read them that number. So, and then past this one, we have our resets. Like I said, if you ever, it's funny, it's annoying, but anytime that you have something that may be an unexplained error, well, I almost always do, like I said, I'll look up the error code, and then after that, especially if it's something that I'm like, okay, if it says like, you know, there's no propane or anything like that, and I know I just filled up my propane, well, what I do is I would go out and check, make sure the propane was on, and then and you can actually do that from here as well in the Travado. But if I know the propane was on, I'm like, okay, well maybe the system just needs to be rebooted. So all you would do in that case is just reset it, like I did earlier when we had that error code come up. Okay, so that was the Truma Eco Combi Plus. This is pretty much the same on the Truma Eco Combi, just no electric, it's only propane. So very similar. As far as the rest of the knobs, it's all going to be the same. So I'm glad you guys stopped by. We appreciate you showing this, or appreciate you letting us show this to you. If you have any other questions about anything that's in the Travado, or even any of your other RVs, even if it's something that we don't sell, we've got a lot of skilled technicians here, and we've got a handful of employees who have 25 plus years of experience each. So we've got a lot of people here that can help. We'd love to help you in any way possible, and we really appreciate you guys stopping by, and as always, enjoy the journey.
Hey, thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. Please let us know if you have other questions you want to answer, and if you have nothing else to do, watch one of these videos here. Subscribe so you know when more are coming out. Have a great day and enjoy the journey.